Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's wonderful session on Rabies rather, and happy World Rabies Day to everyone present. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're joining us from. I'm Gabby, and I'll be your host for today. Before we dive right into all the interesting activities we have for today, let's start with the national anthem. Please, let's be on our feet. Thank you very much, media. To the schools present here, we're super grateful to have you. To those watching online, thank you for being here. We can't have this event today without you. And let's move straight up to the opening remark by Dr. Zainab Abdullahi.
Welcoming address. Okay. Good morning, everyone. It's good to have you with us today. So, please, I would like to invite our CMD Farmalat, Mrs. Grace Ijonide Samuel, on the high table. Please, it will be our utmost pleasure to have you. And also Dr. Nancy Enyo-Otto, our Chief Partnership and Growth Manager. Please, can we have you? And our keynote speaker, Dr. Elizabeth Uju. Can we have you, please? And the head of Zoe Kids Montessori School. Can we have you? And the head of Convenant School. Please, can we have you? So it is my pleasure to welcome you all to this wonderful occasion, the World Rabies Day, breaking rabies boundaries, all for one and one health for all. You know, we have been battling with rabies over the years, and it has been a very deadly viral disease. So it is our utmost pleasure to welcome you all to this wonderful event once more. And before we continue, I would like to recognize the presence of our Chief Operation Manager, Mrs. Ijoma. Well then, okay. I also want to recognize the presence of our Chief Brand and Media Manager, Ms. Jeremiah Shaka. Well done. I also want to recognize the presence of the lead veterinarian data research, Dr. Eugenia, and our partnership and growth manager, Dr. Williams Tolu. And we also have in our means Uncle Fat. I call him Uncle Fat, actually. So, yes, he's in charge of our aqua taps. So, you're all welcome to this wonderful occasion. Please enjoy this moment. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone, depending on where you're watching us from. Once again, my name is Fed, and then we want to welcome you to this auspicious program. Taking us further is no other person that will be giving us our opening remark than our own very country managing director, Famalat Limited. Can we welcome Miss Grace Samuel?
Morning, everybody. Covenant School. Okay. Sorry. You're all welcome. A pleasure meeting you all. My name is Grace. The way you have heard, I work with and for Farmerlands. So today is not today, tomorrow actually, right? Okay, so we're creating an awareness, or this is an awareness campaign for rabies. How many of us have pets here at home? From among the, wow, dog or cats? Dogs. All of you, nobody with cats. Oh, you have cats? You have what? As pets. Do you keep chicken as pets? Oh, really? As in chicken? Oh, okay. That's great. All right. So, for those of us that have pets, you have cats, you have dogs, which is what is common in our climate. Talking about rabies, they don't just come from them, right? And it also affects us as human beings. In as much as we love them as pets, there's also requirements on how to safeguard ourselves. I'm sure we've heard or are going to hear more on how we contract this and what to do and what not to do to prevent it, because it also affects human beings, in fact, mammals generally. So, but because dogs and cats are like the most common around us and around the highly domesticated animals, the transmission is easier. You don't really need to be bitten by one. From the saliva alone, you can get that. So, Farmalert stands for Envisioning Health. We all know Farmalert is a vet outfit. We deal with animal health, products, feeds, everything about animals. But there's something we believe in Farmalert. We're here, we're not seeing any animals. But every one of us, we have said we have cats as a pet. We eat chicken. Who loves chicken here? You like beef. You want chicken in your food. You want egg on your bread. This all comes from animal. And the healthier they are, invariably, we also become healthy. So that is what we envision. Saying that these animals are healthy, translating also to the general healthiness of everyone. So we're not just envisioning the health of animals, but human beings in general. So we are here today even to trigger this campaign on the awareness, to create more awareness of what rabies is, what we stand to gain once we are more aware, and eventually promoting that one health for human and animals. So I welcome you to this awareness campaign tagged Breaking Rabies Boundaries for One and All. So, welcome to 2024 World Rabies Day. Thank you.
Can we give a round of applause to the country managing director of Farm Alert? Thank you so much. You can do better. All right, taking us further is no other person than our Chief Partnership and Growth Officer, Dr. Nancy Eni Otu. She will be giving us a goodwill message. Can we clap for her?
Hi, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Can I see very smiling faces? I want you all to be smiling. Smile, smile. I want you to smile. All right, good. All right, good morning, everybody. And my name is Dr. Nancy. So I'm a veterinarian, and I'm happy to be doing this today because for us to have a free, a world free of rabies, right? It would involve every one of us seated here. And I'm happy to be doing this on behalf of Farmalat, and I'm happy that Farmalat is doing what they are doing. This is part of our community engagement, and it's good to know that we are joining the awareness campaign to make sure or ensure that the world understands the effect of rabies in our world. So thank you for joining us today. And with what we are doing today, we are contributing our quota to ensuring that we have a world free of rabies. Vaccinate your dogs, listen to what the veterinarians here today are going to be saying, and then at the end of it, I hope the questions that would be asked would be answered and understood, of course. So have a wonderful day with us here at Farmalat. And once again, it's good to see you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Dr. Nancy. And next up, we're going to have our keynote speaker, Dr. Elizabeth. Please let's jam our hands together for her to come forward.
Thank you, Miss Chisom. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, beautiful people. Are you happy to be here? It's good to see you. I'm Dr. Elizabeth. I'm also a veterinarian. So today we'll be talking more of rabies awareness, and so that once you see stuff like that in your pet, a good thing you have pets. So once you see some symptoms, you know how to prevent and how to relate it to veterinarians to come and treat them or manage the case. Welcome, everybody. A warm welcome to all of you. And a warm welcome to our chief, too. Okay, so have you heard of rabies before? So can one or two person tell me what they know about rabies, if you've heard, or what you've done? Okay, please.
Rabies is a disease that is contacted from an infected animal to humans or animals.
Okay, clap for her. That's good. Okay, you, please.
Rabies is a disease of cats and dogs that is transferred to human beings through bites from unvaccinated animals.
That's good. That's good. Clap for him. Like people will know more than me. Are you sure you not come and stay here and lecture? Please, the last person, can we hear from you?
Rabies is a zoonotic disease transmitted from animals to humans. It is contacted through contamination of an open wound, the saliva of a human being, which is a mucous membrane, or by inhaling an aerosol.
Awesome. We'll have smart kids here. I'm glad. So you guys are making my work very easy. It's good that you have the knowledge already. So rabies, as you guys all said, is a zoonotic disease. And what are zoonotic diseases? Zoonotic diseases are diseases that can be transmitted from animals to humans. And now, what causes rabies?
Rabies is actually a virus, and we all know that, or maybe you wouldn't know, but viruses actually need a host to live on. And then this host, we have animals such as dogs. Dogs are a primary animal that rabies can be infected. And then we have other animals such as raccoons, we have cats, we have foxes. Oh, okay, you want to give me an example? Okay, go ahead. Yeah, wolves. Clap for him. Please go ahead. We're going to make this class interactive. Yeah, mammals. Please.
Bears,
Yes. Okay, please, the last one.
skunks,
Oh, that's good. That's good. So most of these examples you are giving are wide. So some of the hosts we have domestic animals. Example of the domestic animals are the dogs and the cat, right? And then for the raccoons and foxes that you mentioned, those are wild animals. So those are the hosts. Those are where you could see rabies virus. Now, how can this rabies be transmitted? We have two major ways that rabies can be transmitted. We have the direct contact and we have the indirect contact. Now, the direct contact is through bite. So we all have dogs, right? So if you have, you can play with a dog, and I have dog too, because sometimes you'll be going to the kitchen or the bathroom, and unfortunately, you now stepped on their tail, and they don't like it when you step on their tail, and then they bite you. So if your dog is not vaccinated, you are going to have rabies. Do you get? So that is direct contact. That is direct transmission of rabies. And that is why it's always advisable to vaccinate your dog to prevent humans to have rabies. Now we have the indirect contact. The indirect contact could be as kids. We're playing in schools, you don't know, maybe you're playing with your friends and it's now scratched, you have an injury, you wouldn't know you have an injury, and then you now go home to your pet that is unvaccinated and maybe has rabies already, the rabies virus, and then you're now playing with the pet. Hey, you know how dog could, they will just be waggling their tail, they'll come and be licking you and all that. And then when they lick you, that's how you get infected. You wouldn't know. So that is indirect transmission. And also it could be from objects, maybe water, because viruses are in the air. So as I said, viruses only need a host, right? Are you people following? Okay. So viruses need a host. And then from water and in the air, water, maybe just drank, you just took your cup and just drank it, and you have probably, you won't have an injury, and then that's how you can get um the rabies. So we have two transmission. Who can remind me of what I said? Okay, this way. About the transmission, please.
Direct contact and indirect contact.
So who can give me an example of the direct contact I said?
Biting,
Okay. And then the indirect.
By maybe through licking your skin. And
Awesome. So it's good. You guys are following. So now, once, let's say you're now in contact of a rabid dog. Now, how would you know that this dog has rabies? So we'll see some signs, right? That some signs those dogs or pets we possess. So I'm using dog because we all have dogs here. Do you get? So, and it is our favorite pet. So I'm using it as our model now. So if you have a pet and you go home and then you get to see that in the morning you left this dog and the dog was playful and all that, and then all of a sudden it's your dog, right? And anytime dog sees you, they're always happy. But this time, this dog is he's not happy again. He's just being weak, and then you try to approach the dog, and the dog, you sure you'll be scared. So now, when you're scared, your mind, your first thing is like, Abi, is it rabies? So now the next thing you will do is that you call daddy. This is what happened, though. This is what I saw. Now your daddy should now call a professional and probably explain, because I know all of you you go to veterinary clinic to vaccinate your dog, right? And all of you have vet doctors. So your daddy will now call the veterinarian. So what you get to see from a rabid dog, you see aggression. The dog will be very angry. At first, the dog might be to be abnormal. So you too, you want to go and check what is happening to this my dog now. And then you now see that the dog is now angry at you. And then before you know, maybe you see saliva coming out. There'll be drooling of salivation. That's hypersalivation. Or abnormally, you see. So I'm giving you symptoms that you get to see. Yeah, are you guys following? So I'm trying to, because I'm talking to children, I'm trying to make it so that people will flow with me. Hope you are enjoying it and you are following. Okay. So you now see drooling, salivation. It will be a lot. So when you get to see signs like that, you should also, this could be rabies. And when you are seeing all these things, be seeing it from afar. Don't go close to the dog. Okay? See it, just be observing from afar. And then relate it to your parents or any elderly person at home. And then you get to see, okay, a baby dog too. They're scared of water. Thank you. You read this thing very well. Yeah, I suspect. You read this thing very well. So now, as you said, hydrophobia, they're so scared of water. So those are another way to know that this dog, like this one is a sign. Don't even go there. When the dog now get to like he's scared of water, because dog normally they love water. So once they're scared of water, please don't even go there. This time, go to the gate. Just put one leg at the gate side so that you can run. Do you understand? At the last stage, you get to see paralysis and all that, but you shouldn't make it to that state that you see paralysis, because now the virus has gone to the brain. So I'm not even going to give you the genesis of how it's going to get to the brain so that you will not be bored. Now, so the signs I said, right? Weakness, aggression, fear, hydrophobia, and paralysis, right? Can anyone mention what I just said? Symptoms. Okay. Just give me like three. One of you. Okay. And you've not spoken.
Hydrophobia.
Okay, that's good. Then the last person.
Aggression.
Oh, awesome. Okay, now, so we now go down to prevention. Now, how do you prevent all these things to occur? As we all have, you want to say, let me just say it so that other people, okay, just say so that maybe they'll learn from you.
Rabies is 100% vaccine preventable disease. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so awesome. Clap for him, he tried. Prevention. How do we prevent this? When you have rabies, it's not curable. It cannot be cured. So we can only prevent it. And prevention is better than cure, as they always say. And it's easier to prevent than to cure. So now, how do we prevent it? Number one, once you have a dog, vaccinate your dog. Now, how do you vaccinate your dog? Everybody can know everything. You can just go to Google and say, okay, you will learn such. Now, your number one thought is a veterinarian. You need a professional for everything. So once you have a dog, you have a puppy, or you have a kitten, first thing in your head, let me vaccinate this my pet because of rabies. That's number one. You vaccinate it. And then number two, in case you already have a pet and you got scratched or bitten, the first thing you should do, you just go to the tap water, like use a mild and a clean water, mild soap, and then run your hand through and wash for 5 minutes, minimum of 5 minutes to 15 minutes. So that if there's any viral load on the hand, it's going to reduce. And then when you are done with that, you now go to your veterinary doctor, because it's expected you should have a veterinary doctor. You now explain. And if your pet have a pet card, you give it to your veterinary doctor. The veterinary doctor is going to check through and see, okay, if is this dog vaccinated? If it's not vaccinated, then we'll now be thinking of how to isolate the pet. We'll now be thinking of, okay, this pet might have rabies already. But if your pet is vaccinated, then he's going to give you a written note that you will take it to a human medic. Now I'm talking about human professional. Now the written note it would tell, like we explain everything that happened to you, so that when you give the human medic will not give you a post exposure prophylaxis. Understand? Or should I explain that to you? Do you understand? So that is another prevention. In short, and that prevention is when you've already been beaten. Now, how do you treat rabies? So, rabies is not 100% curable. So, if you have a dog that is already having rabies, you can't cure it. You just have to isolate the dog, and the dog will die after a while. Now, you just have to isolate it and keep it in the cage so that it will not be roaming about. Yes. Do you get? So, you already said, hello, you said rabies is curable 100%, right? Preventable, okay, yes, it's preventable, but it's not curable. So that is why it's better for you to prevent it. So when you take all those prevention measure I said, and then running away from stray dog, one of the prevention I forgot to say, once you see an unknown dog that is not your dog, because this one you are very sure that you don't know the history of this dog, you don't know if the dog has been vaccinated, because if it's your own dog you definitely know that they must have vaccinated it. So once you see a stray dog that is not your own, don't come and say, hey, cute dog, hey, I like this dog. You know all those Lhasa now that are white, that are very beautiful. Don't come and say, let me play with it too. They might now bite you, and then you can get rabies from there. So when you see them, just move away, afar from them. And then all those wild animals, if you see them, some animals can be very cute. You just want to touch. And I'm not just saying dogs, so even cats, because cats are very fine. It's not all these local cats who will have Persian cats that are very beautiful, that are like teddy bears. If you see them, you want to go and touch them. Don't just go straight and touch them. Just you wait for the owner to come. Once the owner is free with them, that's when you will now be sure that, okay, this thing you can play with them. Then that's when you can go ahead and hello cutie and all that. So when you see a stray dog, just move a distance from them. So now for the treatment, we have pre-exposure for the veterinarians. This pre-exposure is given to vet doctors or animal attendants. Now, they inject it so that, because we are at risk, we are in the front line. You can bring your dog, and because it does not know me, to bite me. So it's better I take it. It's going to prevent any virus that will come. And then for the post-exposure, is for someone that have already been bitten, that have not gotten the vaccines already. That's when you can now go for it. And you have to, there's a process, you meeting the veterinary giving you a note, taking to human medics, and then taking the post-exposure vaccine. So I think with this little knowledge I've said, would you vaccinate your dog or your cat? All of you, right? And would you want to own a dog? Those people that don't have. You are nodding your head. Are you scared because of the rabies? Or you don't like dogs at all? At all. Have you ever owned a dog before? You've owned, and you don't like your dog. What breed do you have? You don't even know. Okay, when you're very small. No, but if I gift you a Lhasa, very white one, you will love it. You know those small ones that are very petite. You don't like them. They're like teddy bears. Hey, they gift to you. They're very interesting and good to have at home. So that's all we should know about rabies. Thank you.
And what do we say to Dr. Elizabeth? Thank you so much, Dr. Elizabeth. That was really educative. Okay, next up we have the drama presentation by Zoe Kids Montessori. Can someone please help me find out? Zoe Kids Montessori. Okay, let's jam our hands together for them as they come forward for their drama presentation.
Bubbles. Bubbles. This play is titled Rabies Ruckus. It's Bring Your Pet to School Day at Zoe Kids Montessori. Meet Moira, a responsible pet owner, and his trusty sidekick, Bubbles. His best friend, Tolu, and Alfred. Ow! Ow! Hand. Morewa, are you okay? Miss Ankitona, where are you?
Are you okay? Class, calm down. We have a rabies alert. I'm going to call the vet now. He's coming.
Are you okay? Are you okay?
Ow!
Then I'll take Bubbles to the vet.
We really do need to have a class about rabies. Doctor, can you please enlighten us?
Rabies is a viral disease of members of the cat of relatives of the cat and dog and the dog. They can be transferred to human beings through biting or licking. This is how it can be prevented. Number one, human beings must never
have contact with unvaccinated cats and dogs. Number two, cats and dogs need to be vaccinated. Number three, human beings must take antibiotics to destroy the rabies virus.
Thank you.
All right. Can we give another round of applause to Zoe Kids Montessori? Did you like that drama? And the guy acted that dog well. Right, so we can also clap for them again, once again. Thank you so very much, Zoe Kids Montessori. All right, so we want to play a game, and then the winner will be going with a prize, a gift, right? Are you ready for that? So I need 4 students or pupils from Zoe Kids Montessori, and then I need 4 from Covenant Foundation School. So 4, step forward. And then I will explain the rule of the game. 4, 4. Just 4 from this place. All right, so just technical team, please, can you help me? Let's just get this off. So just form a straight line, yes, and face the. So I'll be handing over the mic. We'll be starting from you, right? So the rule is very simple. Once the mic gets to you, give us the name of one animal you know. Are you ready? So if they give you the mic and you can't call one, you're out of the game. Are we ready for that? Or I should give you 1 minute to think? No. You're ready. So once it gets to you, you pass it back to him like that. All right, so are we watching? So one animal you know. Once you mention one, you pass it to the next person like that. All right, so the game is about to start. At the count of 3, we will begin. 1, 2. Please, let's make sure we're cheering them up and clapping for them, right? 1, 2, 3. You can start.
Turkey.
Jaguar.
Turtle.
Deer.
Dog.
What did you say? Did you hear her? Huh? Okay, maybe because you're just trying to understand the game. Let's start again, right? So once the mic gets to you, immediately you call and right? In 3 seconds, 2 seconds. All right, are you ready? 1, 2, go. 1.
Turkey.
Jaguar.
Turtle.
Deer.
Dog. Chicken. Raccoon.
Cheetah.
The next person. Let's start for them now. Another one.
Leopard.
Tiger.
Cat.
Eagle.
Antelope. Lion. Skunk.
Mongoose.
Civet.
Porcupine.
Lion.
Tiger.
Hyena.
Someone has said tiger before. So,
Someone
okay,
said lion.
all right. So I didn't complete the rule. You're not to repeat what has been mentioned before, right? So let's just finish this, and then we'll start. All right.
Raccoon.
So if you hear anyone mention what has mentioned before, you point out the person, right? Audience, judge. All right.
Fox. Giant panda. But hippopotamus.
Grizzly bear.
Fish. Zebra. Snakes. Seagull. Frog.
We're going to have a winner.
Shark. Rat.
Blue whale.
Penguin.
Dolphin. Fish. Leopard.
You mentioned fish before. Let's clap for her. Thank you. Okay, one is up. Thank you. You tried. All right, let's continue. One.
Zebra.
No, the zebra has been mentioned before. Let's clap. Try. Okay. Let's go.
Weasel. Pterodactyl.
Beluga whale.
Rat.
I think someone mentioned rat. Someone mentioned rat. Ah, it's not you. Ha! Someone mentioned rat already. Let's clap for her and she tried. Any? Oh, you agree? Oh, let's clap for her. Okay, so 4. Are we gonna have a winner? Let's start. 1. Okay, let's give it back to him. Are you ready?
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Let's go.
Snake.
No, snake has been mentioned. But we have 4 gift tracks. Let's just wait. All right, so let's get our winner.
T-Rex.
Mountain goat.
Donkey.
Lizard.
Kangaroo.
Parrot.
Woodpecker.
Joey.
Kangaroo rats.
Kangaroo, right? Kangaroo rat. Kangaroo rat, right? Is that what you said? All right. Can you stay close? Oh, yeah. All right, let's continue. Let's continue. We'll get a winner. Huh? At the count of 5, you will need to go. 1. Let's allow him.
A chameleon.
Chameleon. That's what we mentioned.
Anaconda.
Anaconda.
Flamingo.
Flamingo.
A dinosaur.
Eh? No, you don't have to talk to each other. No, you don't have to talk to each other, please.
Dinosaur.
Dinosaur. Dinosaur. Okay, next.
Dalmatian.
Horse.
Oh, that's a breed. But okay, let's allow them because we're already at the final stage. Let's allow them. You can call another breed of an animal that has been called, right? So let's go. No. All right. Okay, so let's stick to the rules.
Wildcat.
Wildcat. Wildcat. There's something between wildcat and the one you have here. Abi? Wildcat is correct. You have wild goats now.
Meerkat.
Eh?
Meerkat.
What?
Meerkat.
What did you call it?
Meerkat.
Mere. Okay.
Pelican. Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Penguin.
Called penguin. Somebody said, let's clap for her, please. All right. 2 left. Huh? Okay, so we want to change the rules. Can we get suggestions? Names of Okay, names of animals that flies in the air. So names Are you guys ready to listen to animals that flies in the air? Are you ready? Let me give them 15 seconds to think. Names of animals that flies in the air. Don't come and say Pepe yo. Are you ready? All right. So names of animals that flies in the air. Let's go.
Pigeon.
Quail.
Pterodactyl.
Vulture.
A woodpecker. Woodpecker.
Woodpecker, okay.
Hawk.
Okay.
Eagle.
The lovebird.
Is there anything called lovebird? Okay, all right. That flies in the air. Okay, you have one?
Owl.
Somebody's mentioning it. Please, 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 please. No, I had that from the congregation. I had that from the congregation or from the audience. So let's another one. Please let's be quiet so we can have a winner. Okay, so let's change it now. Let's go to animals in water. Are we ready? Are you ready? At the count of, let me give you 5 seconds to think. All right, so let's go.
Fish.
Crocodile.
Hippopotamus.
Yeah, those both.
Alligator.
Yeah, those both.
Anaconda.
Okay. Vet. Our parents of judges are saying they're not sure if anaconda stays in water. Okay, it stays in water. Both land and water. If it's both land and water, then you can go. Okay, let's continue.
A puffer fish.
What did you?
A puffer fish. Puffer fish.
Okay.
A clownfish.
Okay. Please, vet,
Dolphin.
help me. Dolphin. You
Shark.
said- okay, shark.
Whale.
Bluefin.
Okay. Let's clap for them now.
Jellyfish.
Okay. Let's clap for both of them. So, at this point, I don't have a choice than to pronounce both of them as winners. Let's clap for them again. And it's good we have one representative from both schools. What's your name?
My name is Havila.
Havila. How about you?
My name is David.
Okay, so can we bring to the podium our keynote speaker to present this gift to both of them? Please. Photographs, please. Photographs, please.
My name is David.
Okay, let's give them another round of applause. So right about now, we'll be going into the next segment of the program, and then to do this, we will be calling on Covenant Foundation School, and they will be giving us a presentation on rabies. You're welcome.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. My name is Emmanuel Peace. I am a student of Covenant Foundation Schools, Lokogoma. Today, we are all here to mark International World Rabies Day. This year's theme, as we all know, is breaking rabies boundaries. The theme highlights the need to go beyond the norm to achieve the elimination of rabies transmission. Now, what is rabies? What are the causes of rabies? What are the symptoms of rabies? What do I do if I feel like I'm infected or my pet is infected by rabies? All the answers to all these questions and more is the reason you and I are here today. Stay tuned. Thank you.
Let's clap for them, please. Let's clap for them.
What happened to you? Are you okay? Are you sure?
My leg is spinning.
Oh, sorry.
I am here to take your vitals.
Thank you.
Temperature is past normal.
Oh my God. Please call the doctor.
Please do anything to save my child. I cannot afford to lose her. Please, doctor, for any means necessary. Her tests are in. Your daughter has been diagnosed with rabies. Survival at this extent is very unlikely.
Doctor, please do whatever you can to save my daughter. Doctor, please.
We have an experimental treatment you can try.
Doctor,
But
go
her
ahead.
survival is not guaranteed.
Go ahead. Try the experiment.
Try our best.
Thank you, doctor.
Come, let's take a walk outside to take your mind off everything.
"72 days later, Jenna's recovery is rapid.
Jenna, you're looking bright today. Your survival was really a miracle.
Jenna, we almost lost you.
Second chance.
Your survival will really change the treatment of rabies forever.
I'm here to help people understand more about rabies.
That's my daughter. Well, you'll be discharged today. The papers will be signed and you can be on your way.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I'm going to get your dischargement papers.
Thank you very much. Sorry.
Thank you all for watching and listening. This short playlet was just to show you all the story of the first survivor of rabies, Jenna Geese. She was a miracle because it wasn't expected, but then the doctor tried to suppress her brain activity and administered a series of injections, and then she was able to survive rabies. She was the first person to survive rabies ever. So thank you. Now let's know more about the history of rabies.
All protocols being observed. My name is David O'Neill, and I'm going to educate you on the history of rabies. Rabies was first discovered in the year 2000 BC. Its first record was recorded in the Mesopotamian Codex of Estuara, which was written in the year 1938 BC. In ancient Greece, rabies was believed to have been caused by Lyssa, the spirit of mad rage. Fast forwarding to present day times,
A French scientist who goes by the name of Louis Pasteur was the first man to ever find a cure for rabies. He tested it out on Jenna geese, and it was successful. Now we use nervous tissue vaccines to cure and reduce the effect on rabies onto human beings. Thank you.
Standing on the existing protocols. My name is Sam Ojuka, and I'm here to represent CFS Togogoma to talk about rabies. Rabies, acute, ordinarily fatal viral disease of the central nervous system, is a disease that causes the inflammation of the brain and spinal cord. It is a zoonotic disease, meaning it can be transmitted from animals to humans. Transmission process or by inhaling an aerosol, which is a system of liquid and solid particles uniformly distributed in air. We move to there are two major clinical forms of rabies, known as furious rabies, which is characterized by hallucinations and hyperactivity, while on the other hand we have paralysis and coma, which is also called paralytic rabies. The risk factors. Small societies or countries have a higher risk of contracting rabies. For example, Asia and Africa, due to the amount of stray animals found on the street. About 2021, 1,806 dogs were found roaming on the streets of India, thereby making India the world leader in rabies disease. Now, rabies is most commonly transmitted in these places due to the fact that most people don't have a functioning spleen, which is an organ found by the belly, which destroys worn out red blood cells, creates white blood cells, and purifies the blood. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. My name is Excel Adeyemi. All protocols need to be observed. I am here to list the animals that can potentially transmit rabies. Number 1, dogs, primary source globally. Number 2, cats. Number 3, raccoons, common in North America. Number 4, foxes, red, gray, and Arctic. Number 7, coyotes. Number 7, wolves. Number 8, mongooses in some regions. And finally, number 9, monkeys in some regions, especially macaques. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. My name is Joshua Buke. All protocols being observed, and I'm here to tell you more examples of animals that can cause rabies, like wild animals, livestock, and exotic animals. Examples of wild animals that can cause rabies are weasels, rodents. Examples of exotic animals that can cause rabies are bears, hyenas. Examples of livestock that can cause rabies are horses, cattle. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. My name is Adebola Martin Shalom, and I'm here to educate you on symptoms of rabies in animals. Unusual behavior, such as aggression or confusion. Secondly, changes in vocalization, such as growling or hissing. Thirdly, difficulty in swallowing. Fourthly, paralysis or weakness. Lastly, drooling or foaming. Once again, my name is Adekola Martin Shalom. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. My name is Blessing Akeredolu, a student of CFS.
I'll be enlightening us on the symptoms of rabies in human. If a human is bitten by an infected animal, there are three major symptoms that will show, which are the early symptoms, neurological symptoms, and advanced symptoms. But the most common ones are fever, headache, hallucination, agitation, vision changes such as double vision or blurred vision, hearing changes such as hearing loss or tinnitus, redness of the body, joint pain, coma, or eventual death.
Good day, everyone. My name is Yawesef Anita, and I'm here to give an awareness message on how to prevent animals from rabies. Number one, vaccinate your pets regularly. Number two, avoid touching stray animals. Number number three, number three, wear protective gear before handling animals. Number four, seek medical attention immediately if bitten by an animal. Number five, report any animal bite to the authority. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. My name is Chimamanda Onwase, and I am a proud representative of Covenant Foundation School. Standing on the existing protocols, I'm here to talk on the prevention of rabies and what to do when infected by rabies. The prevention of rabies. 1. Supervise children around animals. 2. Spray or neuter pets to reduce roaming. 3. Stay away from stray animals. Rabies is a deadly disease that can be prevented. What to do when infected? 1. Wash the bite or wound with plenty of water and soap from 5 to 15 minutes. 2. Seek medical advice within 24 hours. 3. Receive PEP, which is post-exposure prophylaxis, which includes 1. Immediate vaccination, and 2. Administration of rabies immunoglobulin. Rabies is a 100% preventable disease with vaccination and proper precaution. Stay safe, stay informed.
Good day, everyone. My name is Havila Jasper, and I'm an excellent representative of Covenant Foundation Schools. And I am here to talk about the facts about rabies. Any mammal can potentially transmit rabies if infected. Rodents, rabbits, and hares rarely transmit rabies. Birds, reptiles, amphibians, and fishes do not transmit rabies. In the United States, raccoons, skunks, bats, and foxes are the primary vectors of rabies. And finally, rabies is the third biggest killer, killer disease that causes Rabies is the third biggest killer disease, causing approximately 57,000 deaths annually. Thank you.
Once again, I want to thank you all for what all we had to say. In summary, rabies is a deadly disease, so stay safe. You have listened to the symptoms, the causes, and everything. So if you have a pet and you feel like the symptoms that we just told you now, you can see them in your pets, or the causes, or anything. If you feel like your pet has rabies and you're scared of contacting rabies, get if your pet's already vaccinated, visit your vet. If your pet isn't, why don't you visit your vets around you, or come down to Farm Alert and get you and your pet safe. Thank you.
Thank you so much, students of Covenant Foundation University. That was a very enlightening one for every one of us here. I'm sure the doctors were surprised on how much. I was surprised on how much they knew about rabies because, like, wow, who could imagine? And next up, we have refreshment. The panel session will be immediately after the refreshment. So those involved should please get ready. Okay, while we are still munching, the panel session will start immediately. Let's welcome Dr. Eugenia, Dr. Tolu Williams for the panel session, and also representative from Covenant Foundation School and Zoe Kids Montessori. Let's jam our hands together for them while they come up, please. Thank you.
Supposed to stand up when we're saying what we want to say.
Sorry?
Are we supposed to stand
No,
up?
you sit down. Okay, so this is what you do. You ask five. You just, after introducing them, you allow them to introduce themselves and all the things. Then you ask 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After asking, pick from the group of them to ask, just pick on what that you think is better. You ask 5 questions. Then after that, she would ask, when you want her to start her own question, you're done asking the 5 questions, you can say, you then say over to you, and you ask her name now, so they don't have to doing this part. You understand? Then she introduce herself. So when it's time for you to ask her own, for her to ask her own, you just let her know. And she ask her own 5, then she will end it. You understand? Just come down.
Happy World Rabies Day. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you're watching us from. Welcome to the to today's discussion on rabies. I am Zoe Ongumezi, and with me here is
Emmanuel Peace.
I am representing Zoe Kids Montessori. Today, we have a distinguished group of experts who will share their insights and knowledge on this critical public health issue, rabies. Please, could you introduce yourselves?
I'm Dr. Eugenia Ishaku, lead veterinarian data and research for Pharmalat.
I'm Dr. Tolu Williams, the Partnership and Growth Manager in Pharmalat. Thank you.
Let's begin with our first speaker. Please provide an overview of rabies and its significance, Dr. Eugenia.
I'll start by saying I've been very impressed with the presentation so far. You all you've done your homework. You know, I had a lot of species that I probably wasn't aware that, they could get rabies, and, you guys have done your homework, and we as veterinarians, we're very proud. We're very proud of that. So an overview of rabies. Rabies is a deadly disease, is a deadly viral disease. It's a zoonotic disease, like a lot of you have mentioned. So zoonoses are diseases that are shared between man and animals, right? So it's a viral disease. It's distributed globally, right? Although there are areas where it has been eradicated. And right now it's populated in Africa and Asia, particularly. And yeah, I heard someone mention the statistics. So rabies kills about 59,000 persons per year. So it's a very, very deadly disease. What are the clinical signs? One of our speakers mentioned the incubation stage, I think the neurologic stage, and an advanced stage, right? So you can categorize the signs into three: an incubation stage, prodromal stage, and then the neurological stage, where you have coma and then death, right? And you can be transmitted from animals, majorly dogs. They are the major primary transmitters of rabies, right? You can also get it from wild animals and livestock, cattle, goats, horse, yes. And what's the significance? It's a public health. It's a public health disease. It's a disease of public health significance because it affects humans. So it means that we have to be aware that there's something that is transmissible between humans and animals, and you have to make sure you are vaccinated, you get your pets vaccinated so that you don't come down with the disease. There's the economic impact, right? It costs. Vaccines are not free. You have to buy them, right? And it's you use money to buy those vaccines. Now, when you look at most of, like I mentioned, Africa and Asia as continents that are populated with rabies, with cases of rabies. These are a lot of developing countries are in these areas, right? And they don't have a lot of resources. So where you have to get vaccines, you have to go through the post-exposure prophylaxis. Yes, it comes with a cost. So there's the economic impact, there's the public health.
Question is, what are the symptoms of rabies in both humans and animals?
Okay, thank you very much. In animals, because of course they are the primary transmitters of the disease, and like someone said earlier, they are mainly in three stages. There's the prodromal or the incubation stage, there's the furious stage, and there's the paralytic or the dumb phase. So the prodromal phase is when, after the bite has occurred, there's a series of processes that go on within the body of the infected human or animal. It initially replicates and multiplies around the site where the bite occurred. Do you understand? So if it's the leg, if it's the hand, if it's the neck, the organism will be there for a while, the virus will be there for a while, it would replicate, it will multiply, and then ascend. So during the process, while that is going on, you might not really see any signs in the human or in the animal, aside just few bouts of fever, maybe a little headache, some tiredness, which are not specific signs because there are several other diseases that also show these, signs. Now, the second phase or the second stage is called the furious stage. So by this time, the symptoms have started showing. Now, in the animals, the major sign you see is agitation. The dog or the cat or the affected animal is unnecessarily excited. You could want to carry your dog that usually stays very calm and then it's just, shaking and just barking. And I'm wondering, what's wrong? What's wrong with you? Calm down, calm down. Before you know it, if care is not taken, you might even be beaten by the dog out of that agitation. Do you understand?
Yes.
Now, the worst or the worst signs that you see within that furious stage, aside the agitation, you can see something called hypersalivation. You've seen dogs and how their saliva can be so thick sometimes, right? Sometimes you also see them drooling. Drooling is also like hypersalivation. So when you notice hypersalivation in the dog, that this saliva that I'm seeing is way more than what I'm supposed to see or what I usually see, it would raise a sign that something might be wrong. Do you understand? Now, there's also something called hydrophobia, and it's by virtue of the reaction that occurs when they swallow water, when the virus has replicated and has, moved to the area where their voice box or where their larynx is. So when you give them water to drink, you can see them pull back from the water that they normally would, take easily. So these are more like specific signs. And then aside that, then you can see the barking unnecessarily. You can see seizures, So all of these are pointers that there's something neurologically wrong with this dog. Do you understand?
Yes.
But you might not be able to 100% say is rabies at that place where you are seeing all those signs, except when it's maybe taken to a hospital or a veterinarian for confirmation, because there are a couple of other diseases as well, even in veterinary medicine, that can also show seizures, the signs and all the things that you are seeing. Now, in humans, is very similar as well. The prodromal or the incubation stage is where the organism is already in the system, but it is yet to ascend to the neural canal. As long as the virus has not entered the brain, you might not really see many signs yet. You might just be seeing those weakness signs, tiredness, heaviness. But once it gets to the brain, you start to see the humans reacting unusually. You start to see the agitation, you see the seizures, you see the drooling, you see the hydrophobia as well. You give the boy or the girl water to drink, they don't want to drink the water. Do you understand? Not because they cannot, but there's a psychological fear that they have for that thing. Once it gets to that stage where you're already seeing clinical signs or symptoms, it's like a 90% gone case. Because once the clinical signs and the symptoms start to show, chances of recovery are very slim. So what I usually advise first is for humans, when you know you are going to get a pet, or if you know you are going to own or house a pet, get vaccinated. I mean, it's so easy. You can always go to the hospital to say you want to get anti-rabies vaccine. It's even very cheap from my research. You take 3 shots, the pre-exposure vaccination or the pre-exposure prophylaxis, contains 3 shots. So when you take that and you give that to your kids, and all ages can get the vaccines. So from a baby to an old man, or from a baby to an old woman, you can get the vaccines. So once you are vaccinated, you know to some extent whether your dog is vaccinated or not, you are already safe from rabies. Do you understand? So these are the symptoms that you can see in human animals.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Question 4. What are the treatment options for in case you are in case you, what are the treatment options in case you are infected for both humans and animals?
So there's no treatment yet for rabies, but there are preventable measures that you take once you feel you are exposed or once you know that you're exposed to the virus. So when you get bitten by a dog, right? It's a child you're playing, your child or your sibling or whoever, your friend playing, and you're bitten by a dog. A lot of you have been mentioning post-exposure prophylaxis. So post-exposure prophylaxis sums up the primary treatment that you take once you're exposed, right? And that's where you have wound washing, rabies vaccine, and rabies immunoglobulin. So all three forms the post-exposure prophylaxis. So once you're exposed, you immediately wash the site of bite, right? So that's a lot of the dramas that I don't know if any scene showed that, but you make sure that you wash that site where you're beaten immediately. So you go to a tap with clean water where water is rushing very quickly. You put the wound side and you wash with soap. Can use a mild antiseptic. Just get any soap and make sure you wash thoroughly, right? You wash thoroughly for about 15 minutes, and then you take the child or whomever to the doctor. So that's the human medics. A veterinarian is not licensed to treat a human. So you go to a human hospital and then you tell them that you've been exposed, especially if you cannot. So you have to try to ascertain the vaccination history of the dog or whatever animal it is that beats you. So if you cannot ascertain the vaccination history, it means that you are probably exposed. I mean, there's a chance that you've been exposed, right? So you rush to the hospital and then you get the rabies vaccine. So once Dr. Williams explained the transmission to us, so we know that once you're bitten, it's the virus has to travel to your brain before coming down with the symptoms, right? That's why once you start seeing the symptoms, it means that it's a gone case. It means that the virus has already gotten to your brain and it has taken over your brain, and virus is just, it's going to different sides of your body basically. So once you're bitten, you don't know you can take the vaccine. So the vaccine will, elicit your immune response, and then it takes care of the virus. If it's a very deep bite, right? A very deep bite, you can request for you tell the doctor, and you'll be given the rabies immunoglobulin. And that will take care of this you coming down with the symptom. Now, as for the animal, if okay, well, in this case, if a human is bitten, but as for a dog that is infected with, that has come down with rabies, right, you quarantine the animal, of course, so that it doesn't form a nuisance in the community. And then, in most cases, you have to euthanize the animal. You have to kill them. So euthanize is like a mild way of saying killing. I know how to say you kill the you kill the dog, so you won't sound like a murderer, but you euthanize them, just like a gentle way of killing the animal, because you cannot guarantee how. I don't know how safe your quarantine methods would be, but the best is to kill the animal to save the animal from further pain, right? So when animals are in severe pain and they are going through conditions that cannot be treated, right, the best option is to euthanize them, just to kill them basically. So yes, and there's the pre-exposure prophylaxis, like he mentioned. So take your vaccine so that you don't come down with the disease. Thank you.
Thank you. Question 3. What are the what what role do wildlife and environmental factors play in rabies transmission?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. So, most of the focus of rabies transmission has been on dogs, as well as household or very common pets, so to say. Now, if you are going to wildlife, some of the animals mentioned were skunks, raccoons, and some of the other animals within the canine or canid family. Now, when you are talking about the wild, the risk of exposure is more because the vaccination status of the animals in the wild, most times, except if it's a conservation facility, cannot be ascertained. If you go to the zoo, for example, the zoo cannot, I don't really zoo as the wild because the zoo in a confinement is within a restricted space. All the animals within are accounted for. But when you're talking about the wild, it's like animals that don't really have any restriction. So these animals have a very low, would I say, supervision. They fend for themselves. They take care of themselves. So the risk of being infected if you find yourself bitten by an animal in the wild would be much higher than even the ones that have been domesticated. And then there are some people who also are fond of going into the wild and poaching animals. So what do I mean by poaching? So there are times that you just enjoy the sight of an animal. You can see a picture of an animal and say, oh my God, this animal looks good. Where can I get this animal? So if you find yourself in the wild and you take that animal out of its natural space to your own restricted space, it's more like kidnapping the animal, if you understand what I'm trying to say. So it's more like taking the animal from the natural space to your own restricted space. You are also exposing yourself to the risk of being infected with rabies. You're exposing other people within the area to the risk of being infected because this animal you are taking to your space, you don't even know if he's been vaccinated or not. You don't know the health status. You don't know anything about it. Do you understand?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next question. How can we educate the public about the rabies prevention?
So that's what we're doing now, right? We're educating ourselves about rabies. We watched a play. Now we're having a panel discussion. We had a keynote speaker who spoke about rabies. So that's what we're encouraged to do. How many of us have mobile phones? And you're on social media? Okay. Okay. Well, you can spread the word on social media, right? Educate people on social media platforms. When you go back to school, speak to your classmates, right, about rabies, because sometimes you can even just walking on the streets, you can see a stray dog that starts pursuing you, right? And we saw the drama that the other student was moving around, right? Some of them, they back at even what is not there. They'll be backing at the wall, chewing stones, chewing whatever. You see them behaving very off, chasing shadows. Exactly. So you have to educate people about rabies because it's deadly. And because of how long the virus can stay in your system, and then you don't even calm down. So you can be exposed to the virus, and then you can stay as long as 6 months, right? Even more than a year, and you won't know that you have the virus. And then suddenly you calm down, and in like 2 weeks, you're gone. When you come down with the disease, right, there's nothing you can do about it. So it's very important that people know that rabies is something that can kill, and dogs are the primary transmitters of this disease. And dogs, a lot of us have pets at home. So you tell people, you tell your friends, tell your classmates, dog owners, tell them, is your dog vaccinated? And then you tell them what you've learned today, right? You can organize vaccination drives. But I'll just say something that is relatable to our audience today, to all of us here. So when you go back, try to spread the word. Speak to your friends, speak to your parents also, right? That they do the right thing once they get pets. Thank you.
Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you very much. My name is Emmanuel Peace, and I am representing Corona Foundation School, Local Goma. So my first question: we've been hearing that rabies can be transmitted from animals to animals or animals to humans, but can humans transmit rabies? Like, can they serve as the transmitters of the disease? Is that possible?
Okay. So before I answer this question, I want to say something really quick in addition to the last question that was asked. A lot of us are lovers of pets. I mean, I've met people who just enjoy spending time with pets. She talked about stray animals. Stray animals. Maybe you are going on the road, you just see one dog that looks malnourished, looks unkept, or you see a cat. In fact, cats are like in my opinion, highest occurring animals that humans pick up as stray pets. Once you just see a cat that is somewhere, just take the cat, take it to your house. You don't know where the cat is coming from. You don't know where the cat is going. I've also heard some even pet owners say, their cat ran away and you just came back yesterday. Where did your cat go? You don't know where your cat went to. So what I want to say is be very wary of stray animals. They are also a very highly occurring transmission mechanism for rabies because they are stray, obviously it means they've not been well taken care of. So due to the fact that you cannot ascertain their health status, think twice or three times before you take them as your pets. Your question, can humans transmit rabies? So I was discussing something with my colleague here at the back, that there's anthropozoonosis and there's zooanthroponosis, where animals can transmit to humans, humans can transmit to animals, right? Now, this is like a general term in medicine. There are infections that humans can actually pass to animals. But in the case of rabies, the only way a human can pass it to another human is if a human that has been infected bites another human that has not been infected. Now, I think one of the things that brings about fights, or bites, so to say, is fights. When you're upset with each other and then you want to vent at each other, then you bite. Because I don't think biting from human to human is very natural. I don't think so. There's been cases where humans have beaten other humans, but scientifically, it's never been confirmed that rabies can be transmitted from one human bite to another human bite. So, because again, by the time the incubation period is still ongoing and you're not seeing any signs, the virility of the organism is not yet at its peak until you start seeing the clinical signs that you're seeing when it has migrated to the brain. So chances that a human being already showing signs of rabies will bite another human, even you, when you see a human being barking or a human being agitated and screaming, because I mean, some videos came out recently that I saw and I just felt sad because the videos showed that the children involved, unfortunately, had gotten to the neural stage of the disease. And of course, at that stage, even the doctor will tell the parents that it's done. So the chances that humans can bite other humans, truthfully, are very slim, but it's not impossible. Do you understand? It's not impossible. So humans should still be careful of humans. Parents should still be careful of where they take their kids, how they raise their kids, to be sure that you do not. That's why I said the best thing to do is the pre-exposure prophylaxis. Even if a human bites another human, if the bitten human has already gotten the pre-exposure prophylaxis, all the shots of the anti-rabies vaccine, it will have no effect. I have my anti-rabies shots up to date. Do you? No, you don't. So when you get home, tell mom to take you to the hospital for your anti-rabies shot. It would reduce and limit the risk of exposure or infection to rabies infection. Do you understand? You're welcome.
Next question. So, for instance, I have a dog, and my dog gets rabies while she's pregnant. Does the rabies affect her unborn puppy?
Yes. From she suckles from your puppy suckles from the mother, right? So that's another means that the puppy can contact rabies from the mother. So if in that case, like I said, you have to call infected animals. No matter how sad it will sound, or no matter how sad it sounds, because of how deadly it is, you don't want to keep an animal that can pose a threat to others and to even you yourself. You've seen someone was backing here. How many of us wants to start backing one day like this? You just wake up and you're doing who wants to do that? Nobody. So once your dog is infected, I know it's very sad losing your puppy, right? But you have to call them, you have to euthanize them. But yes, the virus can be transmitted from mother to child.
Thank you very much.
Hold on. Let me add something here. You see, while you see a human or an animal who is showing very normal signs, they are still in control of their body. Do you understand? Their brain is still in control of their body. In the case of rabies, once the virus gets to the brain, the virus takes over control of that body, either the animal or the human. So you cannot direct your body anymore. It is what the virus requests for that you are going to do. Do you understand? So even in the case of a pregnant animal, once the virus has gotten to the brain, the virus is going to spread everywhere and elicit its action. Do you understand?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Next question. What is the lifespan of an infected animal or human?
Okay, so when you say lifespan, what you mean is from the time when the infection occurred to the time when they die. Is that right? Okay, so it varies. There is no particular range, or there's no particular figure attached to the human or the animal. But this is how I would explain it so you understand. So I mentioned something called incubation period, right? So this is the period or the time when the virus that has been introduced through the saliva of the infected animal is replicating, multiplying, ascending the nerves to the nervous system. This can take a while. Do you understand? So it can take 3 months, it can take 2 weeks, it can take 6 months. In humans, it's longer. It can take up to a year. It depends, it varies. But once the incubation period is done and the furious phase comes into play, where you start seeing the clinical signs, within 7 to 10 days from that day, either in the human or in the animal, it's bye-bye. Do you understand? So what would really determine the lifespan is how long the incubation period takes. And this length of incubation period would also vary depending on the level of immunity that the human has, the level of or the strength of immunity that the animal has. You know, if they've been exposed before, if they've not been exposed before. You and I can catch a flu today. Flu can take you to the hospital. Flu can keep me at home. Do you understand? Malaria has taken people to the hospital. Some people just take herbs for malaria and they're fine. So the body differences, the body variation also overall, influence or affect the length or the lifespan. But the concrete thing you can know is once you start seeing the signs, agitation, the seizures, the drooling, the barking, the aggression, within 7 to 10 days, maximum 2 weeks, it's bye bye. Do you understand? Okay.
Thank you very much. Last question. So, sorry. So a stray dog bites a child in my neighborhood, and I can't speak English. I'm uneducated. I'm an illiterate, let me put it like that. And then that dog, no, let me see, a stray dog bites my dog. Exactly, and I'm an illiterate, and I don't know. But then I'm scared because like my dog is showing symptoms of rabies. But then I don't know anything about rabies, and then I come to farm alerts, for example, and I call my dog, and then I don't know how to communicate what's happening to my dog. What happens? I'm already in farm alerts, and I don't know how to tell you this is what's wrong with my dog. I'm just standing there with my dog.
Um, so I think you should have your pet vaccination book, your pet history. How did you get the dog? How did the dog become yours? You know, saying you cannot speak, right? But you might have, depending on no, what however you procure your dog, however you get your dog, you should have a pet your vaccination book, right? Your pet book for your dogs, and that shows your vaccination history. So there are times that dog owners, they might not be aware of some of these medical terms. And then as a vet, you ask for the pet history, their pet book, right? And then you see the vaccination history, and then you know whatever. Rabies is a priority vaccine, rabies vaccine. Wherever you go to, wherever clinic you go to, they ask for the history, right? Because it's a priority disease, it's a zoonotic disease, and that's something that your pet is a vaccine that your pet must take, right? So they ask for your pet book. And if you don't have, if it shows that, your dog has not taken the vaccine, you are advised to do so, to take the vaccine. Now, like I think we've also covered that once your pet has not come down with the clinical signs of rabies, right, you can get them vaccinated as soon as possible. That's why you need to take an immediate action once your pet is bitten and you can't confirm the history. So if you come here, you bring a case. One thing that a veterinarian would do immediately you bring your pet to the hospital is a physical examination, right? And they ask for the history of your pet. So that covers, that covers the whole, any detail around, and that will tell if you've had the vaccine or not. So it doesn't necessarily, you don't necessarily have to say that my dog was beaten or something. It's a compulsory. I can call it compulsory, right? It's a necessary question that your vet would always ask. What's the vaccination history of this dog? Once they see a bite, a wound, a bite wound, you can tell that that's the wound is from a bite. So you definitely want to know that whichever animal got that dog beaten is not infected. So one of the first questions you'll be asked is the vaccination history to see your book. So always make sure that your pet has, the pet book where you keep track of all the vaccinations and they know which vaccination when your dog should, which or and when your dog should be vaccinated. Thank you.
Hold on. Hold on. So I wanted to add something to that. You said you're an illiterate, right? You're citing an example.
Yes.
You said you're an illiterate and a stray dog beat your dog, right? Now, when you brought your dog to Farmer Lab, your dog was already showing signs of rabies, right? Maybe the drooling, the hypersalivation. Maybe it's not biting everywhere yet, because if it was biting everywhere, Farmer Lab to not open the gates for you. But if it was not biting everywhere yet, maybe it's still drooling, the hypersalivation. So there are doctors in Farmer Lab, and we are well trained. Once we see the dog you are bringing, we can obviously tell that something is wrong, right? So I think the first thing we will do is isolate your case or quarantine your case, right? Maybe just keep the dog within a confined space while we question you. Do you understand? After our interrogation, which involves all the things that she has talked about, it would better inform you on how to own your next pet. For this one that you brought, we will advise you to euthanize. Why? Because you are already seeing the clinical signs or the symptoms of rabies. Do you understand what I said? If at the time when you presented the case, you were just guessing that you are not sure, you still think something is wrong, we could still do some investigation. But if it's already showing that you already feel like this is rabies, so come and help me, we will advise you based on all the questions she has asked. By the time you are done with us, obviously your illiteracy will become literacy because now you are well informed of how to handle your next pet. But for this one that you brought to, because it's already showing signs, we will advise that you euthanize for your own safety. Do you understand? Just wanted to have that.
Okay. Lastly, okay, for example, again, I already know everything I need to know about rabies, and then my dog starts showing symptoms, and I know, okay, is it advisable for me to just kill my dog, like by myself, just kill it? Some people eat dogs.
Yeah. I mean, dog, there's something called hot dog, man. I think there's hot dog. Is hot dog really from dog? Oh, okay. Oh wow, interesting. I always thought hot dog. So why is it called hot dog? Well, that's for another time. So I know dog is a delicacy in some areas or in some states. If you see that your dog is already showing signs of rabies, with the education you have, you can euthanize your dog. You will never hear me say kill. I always say euthanize because euthanize is a medical term that makes it look easier. It's one of the most difficult decisions for veterinarians. If you bring your dog to me to euthanize for you, it might be very difficult. I might advise you to go and do it yourself because it takes a lot of emotion. Do you understand? But if you see it and you feel this is rabies, yes. Though you can, we also advise that every family has a vet that they consult, right? So you can always place a call. I'm seeing this, oh, I'm not sure of what this is, and I think I'm scared. Should I kill? Would you be here? Should I wait for you? Would you come? Do you understand? So sometimes, or most times, depending on the directive your consulting vet gives you, carry out. But before you carry out anything, always get an instruction from your consulting vet. Do you understand? Except when it's already bad. Maybe you're already seeing that it's biting. Oh my. So that one is, you can then knock out if you can.
Okay, I think it's also important to know that animals also feel pain, right? They also feel pain. So you're not a veterinarian, you're not an expert. You cannot, it's not, how many of you have seen the way they kill dogs that the one people eat, dogs that they eat? Have you seen the way they kill them? It's very, very, it's
I
very,
think
very painful to
they
watch.
behead them most times, right?
Sometimes they tie them in sack and then they hit them, then they start hitting them. So it's very, very inhumane, right? Humane treatment is not just for humans. It also goes out to animals. You don't just treat them anyhow because they feel pain. They also cry. You hear some of them crying, right? So you're not an expert. So you will know the best way to kill a dog. You don't know the best way. That's why we talk about euthanasia, because that's mercy killing, basically. Yes, it's painful, but they will die painless. Right? I saw a couple came to, their dog was very, very old, a shih tzu, like a Chinese breed. The dog was very old and he was already blind. He was already having so much, signs of aging, and they had to euthanize the dog. And the couple, they were crying and crying. Yes, it's very sad, but you have to also consider the pain they might be in. And then you don't want to, going through rabies, it already comes with signs that are difficult for them to handle. A dog cannot drink water. Water is a basic necessity of life. 6 classes of food. Water is protein, vitamins, carbohydrates, fats and water, minerals, fats and oil, mineral salt and water. So water is a basic necessity, right? And imagine your dog cannot drink water. The dog is just scared of water. So the dog is already going through a lot of physical and psychological pain. So you want to make his death or her death as easy as possible. So the best advice, please just take the dog to a vet so that your dog can, at least in the final moments, the dog would be painless, die painlessly. Right.
Thank you. I think that's all my question. Thank you very much.
All right, and thank you very much as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much to our representative from both schools and to Dr. Eugenia and Dr. Tolu. Kids, what do you say to every single person who came out here today? Thank you so much. We're grateful. And up next, we have a Q&A section with Dr. Zainab Abdullahi.
Thank you, Chisom, for this wonderful. Okay, I just thank everybody for this wonderful presentation, starting from our keynote speaker, Dr. Elizabeth, our panel section, the Zoe Kit Montessori Covenant Foundation School, and also our vets here, Dr. Eugenia Sheku and Dr. Tolu Williams. So quickly, we are going on the Q&A session. There is gift attached to it, actually. So it's for both schools. So I'm just going to ask some few questions pertaining what was discussed earlier. So I don't know who among you can tell us what is is a quiz question actually. So it comes with option. So what is rabies? A bacterial infection. B, a viral infection. C, a fungal infection. And D, a parasitic infection. So I don't know who am I to pick. Okay, you. No, yours? Yes.
B, a viral infection.
Okay, a round of applause for her. You have a gift attached to it. Can you come forward for your gift? Well done. Okay, so the next question is, how is rabies primarily transmitted? A, through contaminated water. B, by airborne transmission. C, through insect bite. And then D, through bites from infected animal. Can you come forward?
D, bites from infected animals.
Oh, clap for her. There is gift attached to you. Come forward for it. Okay. Well done. All right. So the next question goes like this. Which animals are mostly commonly associated with rabies transmission? Option A, we have dogs, cats, bats, and raccoons. Option B, bats, rodents, and insects. Option C, reptiles and amphibians. And then D, large mammals like deer and elk. You raised up your hands first. You. Come for option A. Okay, a round of applause for him. You can come forward for your... All right, thank you. I just have 10 questions. I just asked only 3. Okay, so moving on the next question. How can rabies be prevented in animals? A. Regular vaccination. B. Keeping pets indoors. C. Avoiding contact with wild animals. And then D. All of the above. Comfort.
Getting vaccination regularly.
You said?
Getting vaccination regularly.
Regular vaccination. A round of applause for him. Comfort. I like the way you guys are interacting and everybody is just getting the answers. So congratulations. Okay, so question 5. Which organization is responsible for rabies prevention and control in Nigeria? I know this will be very hard. We have the World Health Organization. We have the Nigerian Veterinary Medical Association, the NVMA. We have the Federal Ministry of Health. And we have all of the above. Behind the last guy there.
The NVMA.
Oh, a round of applause for him. I didn't know you were going to get it right. So comfort. You people must have read about this rabies. Well done. Okay, so moving on, the next question. Okay. This one is not it doesn't have any option related to it. You just answer it like this, and let's just see if you're going to get it. So a child is bitten by a stray dog. What should the parents do? No, I'll not like to call you. You come forward. Yeah, you. Let's hear from her.
Vaccinate the child.
No. Okay, you. No, you have answered. Give it to him. Yes, him. Yes.
Take the child to a medical doctor.
Oh, a round of applause for him. Very good. Comfort. Congratulations. Oh, I'm giving you 2. Okay, we're soon going to round up. So, okay. This question comes like this. A person is exposed to a rabid animal but has not been bitten by the animal. What should they do? Come forward, the last person there. Yeah.
The person must have to walk.
Okay, shall I say the question again? A person is exposed to a rabid animal but has not been bitten. What should the person do?
The person must run away from the rabid animal.
No. Another option? Give her the mic.
The person should get prevention and go to the veterinary doctor.
Okay, a veterinary doctor for what? Okay, I think she's close. Okay. So let me take one person from here and then let's see. Yeah.
They should take the dog to the vet so that they can take vaccine.
No, no. Okay, give it to her. Let's see. Give her. Yes.
The person should keep the pets in a cage.
You didn't get my question. A person is exposed to a rabid animal but has not been bitten by the dog. So what should they do? Okay, should I give you one more chance? Okay. Answer. Give him the mic, please. Okay, let's give others chance that have not answered before. Can we do that?
The person should stay away from that animal.
No, no. Oh my God, why are you people not? Okay. Okay, let me just answer this. Okay, okay. Okay, give it to her. Let's hear from her.
The person should seek medical attention and get post-exposure.
I'm going to give you that gift. Maya, come here. A round of applause for her. That was what I was expecting. She got it right. Congratulations. All right. So I think I'm taking the last question. So, um, okay. What should you do if you are bitten by an animal? A. Wash the wound thoroughly with soap and water. B. Seek medical attention immediately. Okay. C. Report the incidents to local health authority. And then D. All of the above. Okay. Huh. Do you want Uncle Jerry to answer it for you? Okay. What of Israel? Okay, okay. Let's just give chance to. Okay. I'm just trying to find a new face that has not answered the question before. Yeah, you.
B. Seek medical attention.
No. Give it to her. This guy has been raising his hand since.
Wash your hand thoroughly with soap and water.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Let us all answer it. Are you sure this is the answer? Are you sure if you wash? Okay. Okay, should I take the question back? What should you do if you are bitten by an animal? A. Wash the wound thoroughly with soap and water. B. Seek medical attention immediately. The C. Report the incidents to the local health authority. And D. All of the above. Okay, or should I? The local health authority is. What do you mean by that? Local health authority? Okay, let's pick someone from there. Okay, come forward. Yes.
D, all of the above.
A round of applause for her. Because after washing the wound, you still need to seek medical attention because you cannot just stay here without with just washing the wound thoroughly or something like that. So come forward for a gift. So we have come to the end of the Q&A section. Now I think we're going to invite the country managing director and of course the CEO of Farmalats for presentation of certificates for both the schools that have participated. So we would like to have the head of school, Covenant Foundation School, and also the head of school for Zoe Kids Montessori. So can we have you on stage? As we await for our country managing director to issue the certificate for participation, it's a great honor to have you here with us today. You guys did wonderfully amazing for this presentation. So thank you so very much for that. Okay, she's coming in. Yes. Yeah. So as she's coming on stage to present the certificates, Ma, you're highly welcome. All right. Well done, Ma. So we're going to present the certificates.
All right. Thank you so much for making out your time to be here today. And for all the learners, we're happy to have you. We hope you had a good time. So on behalf of Farmalats, I present this certificate to Zoe Kids Montessori. Thank you. All right.
Would you shout?
And on behalf of Farmalats, to also present this certificate for participation. Okay, to Covenant Foundation School. Thank you for coming.
Let me just see. You can. Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, at this point, we're going to call the head teacher of. Okay, we are going to call on representative of the head teacher of Covenant Foundation Schools to come and give an appreciation message. Thank you, ma.
Good afternoon, everybody. All protocols duly observed. I'm the representative from Covenant Foundation Schools and want to say a very big thank you to Farmalats for giving us the opportunity to come and know more about rabies. And we also want to say a big thank you to our sister schools, Montessori. We also enjoyed your display and we learned from it. And I also want to thank the learners from Covenant Foundation Schools for coming and showcasing what they knew about it. And to the CEO, to all the doctors present, and everybody, thank you and God bless.
Thank you very much, Ma. We are super grateful to have you here. We're going to have a representative from Zoe Kids Montessori for her own.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm the representative of Zoe Kids Montessori. My name is Ehiko Chongomezi. When we were invited for this program, a lot of our kids here and in school did not think rabies was a big issue. It was, it's something that's exposed to. We had to research on rabies in school, and then a lot of the kids decided that they wanted to be vets because they like animals and they'd like to take care of animals. So we want to say a big thank you to Farm Alert, everybody in Farm Alert, for the exposure, for this opportunity. You've opened up some kids to experiences they would have later in their lives. We want to also say thank you to Covenant's Foundation Schools. I personally learned a lot from your presentation. Thank you. And to all the learners in Zoe Kids Montessori, well done. Thank you, Farm Alert.
Thank you so much, Ms. Ehi. We are super grateful to have you. Let's call on Dr. Zainab for final section of GIT's presentation.
Okay, so I'm going to call the representative of the panel discussion we just had for the Zoe Kids Montessori and then the Covenant Foundation School. So the representative should come forward. Thank you. You guys did wonderfully amazing. So actually it has been an interactive session. So congratulations to you. All right. Okay, come for a picture. Okay. Okay, this is for Zoe Kids. You did wonderfully nice. So congratulations. Come forward. All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much again for being here. We're super grateful for your presence. Those online that still seeing the end of this event, thank you so much. We couldn't have had this whole thing without you and also without our learners who are here present. And lastly, we are going to have the closing remark from Mr. Jerry Shaka. Please, let's jam our hands together for him as come forward.
Good afternoon, everybody. I want to use this medium to say thank you to everybody for being. Thank you to Covenant Foundation School for honoring our invitation. I hope you enjoyed yourself. You enjoyed yourself, right? And also to Zoe School for honoring our invitation. We want to say thank you and our love to your fellow students, right? And on behalf of the CEO and CMD of Farmalat, I want to use this medium to say thank you guys for coming. It's been amazing, and we'll say Happy World Rabies Day, right? So let's say that. Happy World Rabies Day. Happy World Rabies Day. Again. Happy World Rabies Day. And to our special guest that gave us the lecture, Dr. Elizabeth, thank you so much. And to the vets that were on the panel session and all the vets in the house, we want to say thank you very much. To our MCs, we're grateful to the media team and to every single person that played a role in this program, we want to say thank you so much and do enjoy yourself.